Hello, and thanks for stopping by. This is Pinball Dreams for the Commodore Amiga, and I'm playing this game on an Amiga 500 mini console. Pinball Dreams was developed by Digital Illusions and released for the Amiga back in 1992. It was ported to DOS, and I believe it's available now on GOG.com if you want to go that route. According to internet sources, it was also ported to at least 12 other systems. I was surprised to hear that. There is a Commodore 64 version out there as well, and I'm going to have to take a look at that one because I'm a fan of the C64. This game also spawned a few different sequels, Pinball Fantasies and Pinball Illusions. So this is a video pinball game, and you should know what you're getting. You're going to knock a ball around a virtualized pinball table playing for a high score and enjoying whatever the bells and whistles are that the individual tables may offer. I find that when these games are even bad, they're still pretty good. I did get some enjoyment out of the Atari 2600 video pinball game, and that was as basic as it could be. This one is considerably more advanced than that for sure. When it comes to video pinball, we're certainly looking for music, flashing lights, maybe table movement, some sort of a clever theme, and if it's a branded table, you want a fun representation of whatever the theme might be. Here, we've got a game with 4 generic tables that were released in the early 90s, so we're limited to the capabilities of that time. The game would have come on a floppy disk, maybe 2, and playing this on the Amiga 500 Mini, I think I may be benefiting from quicker load times. I played this one using a gamepad controller, and it does handle fine, although it probably works a little better with a USB keyboard. You're supposed to bump the table by pressing the spacebar, which should be easy enough. I do like triggering the flippers with the controller though, so I don't know, I guess I'm torn. There are 4 tables with this one, and they all handle the same functionally, although they do certainly have different layouts. It's important when they're releasing collections like this, I think, to make sure when you have multiple tables, they don't just change the table graphics. They change the layouts of the table. Ramp arrangements will get adjusted, and as you switch between tables, it makes you adjust to how you have to react to it. It affects your timing, of course, so if you're good at one table, you aren't automatically going to be good at the next one. All the tables scroll in the same way, and I think they're relatively smooth and reasonable for the time. There are certainly smoother games out there, but not bad. If I stare at the pinball here though, after a while it does feel two-dimensional to me. I guess that's minor, and I do understand the time the game was developed. In general, the basic colors of all these tables, the color palette they use, it feels really plain to me. Colors just feel flat. I do understand that what we're seeing is not exactly what an Amiga user would have seen 30 years ago. I get that. They certainly had a specific monitor that they would use and that displayed colors in a particular way. I'm on different hardware, I get it. I'm sure it's close, but the experience is definitely different. The first table we have is called Ignition, and it's this reddish table with blues, and it's themed around a rocket launch. Simple enough premise, and I think the table handles pretty well. I like how they display the score at the top of the screen, too. They designed the display up there to look like a dot matrix display you would see in an actual arcade at the time. I think it looks great. The sounds of this table work for me. They got good music, it seems exciting enough, and occasionally rocket-type sounds you would associate with space, I suppose. You get a galaxy peeking through the table as well, and overall, this is a good table. This one's fun to play. The next table is Steel Wheel, and it's themed around an old west town and trains. I get the theme, but it's all this reddish brown, and it feels really dull to me. This color schema is just not flattering, and I certainly don't gravitate towards this table. The music also, it's this old west vaudeville type stuff, and all the little chimes and whistles, they don't really work for me. The ramps are fine, the play is decent enough, I just don't like the sound. It's not pleasing to my ears. The third table is called Beatbox, and it's probably the least exciting for me personally. It might be your thing, of course, it's just not mine. Beatboxing music from the late 80s, early 90s. They themed a table around it. The audio sounds that they use for this one, this was before MP3 format. We're not getting high quality sound samples here, we're getting small, little blurbs of things, and they just feel repetitive. And after a while, I get sick of listening to the same sounds over and over again. Table mechanics, they're fine. The ramps are good. This bright yellow table doesn't do much for me. It's just a table I don't find very appealing out of the mix. The last table is called Nightmare, and it's probably my favorite out of the bunch. I would say this table maybe or Ignition. The design of the table ramps is great here, and the theme is appealing to me. I like this theme a lot. Yes, we have a dull gray table, and the color doesn't quite pop. And we get a basic graveyard and the silhouette of a church. We sort of get enough to indicate nightmare territory, I think, but I do also feel that there is definitely a lost opportunity here. I'm looking at this table overall. Where are the nightmare monsters? I see 3 little skulls and 1 ghost? That's it? Where are the skeletons? Where are the spiders? Where are the bats? No zombies or demons? I would certainly like there to be more detail on this table. But overall, I do like the theme, and I don't think they fail us on the music. We get this dark, gothic, synth droning type of music in the background. It really fits this early 90s nightmare theme, and it does remind me a little bit of Castlevania maybe for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's just the style of the table. There's definitely a nostalgic pull here towards this one for me. Overall, I find this table really fun to play. Good job here. In a lot of ways, I think this game overall, it feels similar to an MS-DOS pinball game that I already have a review on. It feels a little bit like Epic Pinball. I'll put a link to that review in the video description. The games are somewhat similar, although I find Epic Pinball to be more interesting. I gravitate towards those particular tables more anyway. This was my first Amiga pinball game, and liking 2 of the 4 tables, that's enough for me. They all can't be winners. I'm going to have to check out more games in this series for sure. To be honest, I never knew exactly how much I liked video pinball games until I started this YouTube channel. I have way more video pinball games than I thought. Well, that's all I have today for Pinball Dreams for the Amiga. If this is your type of video, please feel free to like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and thanks for stopping by to take a look. I hope to catch you on another video.